Hi guys, Debby Bubbles here, welcoming you back to my channel and into the walls of my home. This evening I am again participating in the Quick and Easy Meals. This is an open collaboration which is hosted every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hosts of the collaboration are Simply Grace Lifestyle, Deborah Cabasa Home Living, and me, Debby Bubbles. Anna, Deborah, and I would love to have you, so please consider joining this open playlist on a Sunday coming up real soon. What you're going to see is a meal that I prepared earlier in the spring, but it's something that is good and hearty and hot that we can serve this fall. I am making a creamy beef chowder using items that I already had in my refrigerator, leftovers, and a few other additions. Okay guys, so today we are cooking. I've got right here for you some ground beef that we're going to brown off. And I'm pretty much using items that are in my refrigerator that I just need to get out of there. So we've got here some cauliflower that I'm going to break up a little further here in a minute. A bell pepper, need to get it over with and done, so we're going to use it. A little bit of onion left over, a whole onion, some green onions, a little bit of flour which is spilled down there, some red pepper flakes, garlic, seasoning salt, the red pepper flakes, extra virgin olive oil, pepper, a little bit of bacon, and then we also have some bacon over here that was left over from a restaurant from a baked potato, some shredded cheese, a little broth that I'm making there with some chicken bouillon, and cream cheese was left on a partial little thing of cream cheese, and some ciabatta bread. Now I do also have some baked potatoes in the refrigerator that I may use, but we'll see. So for right now, let's go ahead and take care of this beef. So we're gonna go ahead and break up our ground beef here and brown it really nicely. And on to the next step. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start seasoning the beef. I've started with some of the spices and seasonings there, and here are some more that we're gonna go ahead and add in as we brown. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and give a little rough chop to the fresh cauliflower here, just breaking it up. Okay, y'all, so I'm using 90% lean ground beef, and so I went ahead and added a tad bit of olive oil, just to get a little bit of fat to help it do what it needs to do. And over here, I have the cauliflower, which I have broken down into some smaller, more bite-sized pieces. And next, I'm gonna cut up the bell pepper. Okay, so our beef is pretty much brown there, and now we're going to go in with the bell peppers, and now we're going to stir that all around and saute it, and I'm going to start working on the onion. All right, so it looks like our ground beef, cauliflower, and bell pepper mixture here is doing well. I'm going to let that go for about another 3 to 5 minutes, and I have chopped up the onion, both the onion that I had left over from the other night, as well as half of a medium white onion. The green onions here, I will probably slice those up and use them to garnish only, because I think that's probably enough. When we serve, I have this ciabatta bread, which was left over from when we did some Angus burgers. We did them on ciabatta as well as onion rolls, and that'll be some good hearty bread to serve alongside the chowder. Okay, so this is looking good, and what I think I'm going to do now is we're going to go in with the flour that I have here, probably about 2 tablespoons, almost 3. They're the chives to use later. This cheese here, we're going to use part of that in this mixture here in a minute, along with the bacon, the cream cheese, and perhaps more bacon bits. But I also have some potatoes, some baked potatoes from on Monday, and today is Tuesday. Sorry, not from Monday, that I got over the weekend on Saturday from my son. And I might add those into this. Okay, so I'm first going to go in with this, well, we'll see what I'm going to do. Go with the bacon. We're going to get that mixed up in there just for some extra flavor, make it a little bit more. Because I'm a fan of bacon, makes everything better. How many of y'all know I was going to put a little bit more bacon in there? I know. So we have incorporated that bacon. Now I'm going to hit it with the flour, and we get this all stirred in and combined until we no longer see white. Okay, so as I said earlier, I have these 3 baked potatoes here. I think I'm going to take one of them and chop it up and add it to the chop. All right, that is smelling so good. So what I've done is taken one of those potatoes, removed most of the skin from it, chopped it roughly, and I'm going to add it in. I've added in the chopped potatoes, the chopped baked potato, and next we're going to go in with that bouillon and water mixture here and add it to our pot and let this all boil down nicely because we're creating a nice thick chowder. Alright guys, so now that we have this boiling away, we've added the cream cheese. We're going to let that sit there and do what it does. And up where I was working, all we have left are the ciabatta, the onions, the lime, and the cheese. Everything is cleaned up. A sink of dishwater going, and of course we got to have our leopard print towels to do. So we're going to adjust the seasoning, come in with a spoon here. Let's see what we need to do. Needs a little more. So I have adjusted the seasonings to where I want them, and I am just going to let this chowder sit here and simmer for about 30 minutes or so before I add in some of the cheddar cheese and prepare to serve it. Okay, y'all, so I got a call and I stopped cooking for a minute, but I've added that cheese in and we're gonna let that heat through and then it's time to serve. We're sipping on some bubbly, some bubbly today. Hey, y'all, I did not drain any fat from that skillet or that pot because it was olive oil that I was using, so it wasn't necessary to drain. It is now time to plate, or rather to dish up a nice steamy bowl of this hot chowder. Okay, so y'all, I just used items that were already in my refrigerator, some items that were leftover, some items that were leftovers from restaurant eating, as well as a few fresh items to create a creamy beef chowder. Now I'm going to go in with a couple of pieces of the ciabatta bread that I've toasted off here a little bit. Next, we're going to squeeze a little bit of lime. Also set it to the side there, just because there's a sprinkle of cheese. Next, we need a few sprinkles of green onion, and I'm gonna call this one done, y'all. So let's taste. It smells so good, and you know what? It tasted even better. Y'all, this was wonderful. Nice, hearty, stick to your bones, creamy beef chowder using what you already had on hand. I'm ready to be a contestant on Shop Kitchen because I can make it do what it does. Whatever's in the basket, I can make it into a meal. Now, as I say often, y'all just get in the kitchen and create. You don't have to have a recipe, but if you do, use that. But if you don't, just create something using what you have on hand, or go to the store, pick you some ingredients up, some items up, and create something, because there is nothing wrong with doing a little bit of experimenting in the kitchen. Just make sure that your poultries, beefs, and porks and things are cooked through to temperature. But outside of that, you just can't go wrong with a nice homemade, home-cooked meal. And again, this was just a basically leftover items from the refrigerator meal, and I turned it into a creamy beef chowder, which was decadent. This is one that we will be serving again. My oldest son dined with me and he fell in love with this. So this is on the menu coming up again soonish. That's another meal down for the Quick and Easy Meals, which is hosted every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Host of the collaboration, The Grace Life DIY Home Decor, Deborah Cabasa Home Living, and me, Debby Bubbles. I hope to see you on that playlist one Sunday coming soon. Mwah. Bye-bye for now.